Okay, so what we're trying to do, UNIDO is United Nations Industrial Development Organization, and our main duty is to promote economic empowerment of people in general and people with disability. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the 17, many of them target disability or are part and parcel of the disability. If we look at SDG number 4, which calls for equal and accessible education, SDG 8 calls for promoting inclusive economic growth, full and productive employment. And this is where the theme of my presentation will mainly focus. SDG 10 emphasizes the social, economic, and political inclusion of persons with disability. SDG 11 looks at accessible cities, smart cities, flexibility in transport. And I believe the speaker before me was talking about airports and how we can make airports more adaptive and inclusive for people with disability. SDG 17 underlines the importance of data collection and monitoring of the SDGs as a whole, with specific emphasis on disability. So the SDGs are inclusive, and disability is inclusive of these SDGs, keeping in mind that the Sustainable Development Goals are based on 5 Ps, which is people, planet, prosperity, peace, and and partnership. So accordingly, addressing the issue of disability has to look into the 5 Ps and working all together as government, international organizations, NGOs, private sector, to support this group of people who can be extremely creative, extremely economically active, and I will go through that a little bit. Now, who we are the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. We represent the Investment and Technology Promotion Office in Bahrain. And our main job is to promote investment to the region and the world, and technology, inward and outward. So this takes us to the issue, of what we're trying to do is to bring latest technologies for industry, for economic empowerment, for manufacturing, and bringing in what moving the economies of the region and developing countries, sub-Saharan Africa and what so forth, towards economic empowerment. What we mainly do is we promote foreign investment, and then what we have realized that since we are in the Arab region and we work in sub-Saharan Africa, 56 countries, there is a need to economically empower people, whether people who are with disabilities or non-disabled people. So accordingly, we have developed an entrepreneurship program that is made up of 5 steps. Preparation and empowerment, which means, we build the capacities of these potential entrepreneurs. We provide business counseling support. We develop financial linkages for these potential entrepreneurs to start and grow their businesses. We provide incubation services, both virtual and physical, and we develop growth programs for these entrepreneurs to grow and expand. And then I will, in the later slides, I will show how we can. One of the ideas that we have is to develop an entrepreneurship program specifically for people with disabilities. In the past 25 years of working in Bahrain, working in the region and in Africa and different parts of the world, India, China, we have seen many of our entrepreneurs who have disabilities. And many of them had either severe disabilities or minor disabilities. But what we have realized is that, honestly speaking, they're the same. And the thing is that the disability will take some part of their physical, capabilities, but at the end of the day, it will give them another thing. We have realized that many of these entrepreneurs are extremely creative, extremely. So one of the ideas we have is to develop an entrepreneurship program that mainly focuses on people with disability. and looking into, professionals who can support us, in dealing with these people so that we can economically empower them for two main reasons. One, you are making them more involved in the economy. You're making them more involved in the in the normal lifestyle. One, becoming economically active, increase their income capabilities, which will also support their families, because people with disabilities sometimes their families spend a lot of money on handling and supporting them, medication and all these things. So our programs mainly supports startups and the growth of entrepreneurs, regardless if they're disabled or not. The modality we just presented is implemented in 52 countries around the world, which means that we can develop an international program where we can bring in some of the expertise we have in China, in India, in Russia, in Europe, where we can see how we can develop, a full package approach for economically empowering people with disabilities. It is also an opportunity for us to share some of the latest technologies that are available to help alleviate and ease in the life of people with disability. What we do, we always work within an ecosystem, and this ecosystem could be replicated any part of the world, and it could be replicated for people with disabilities. So this is, a call out to all those who have an interest in supporting, the economic empowerment of people with disabilities to join hands with us. We had an idea some time back in the United Nations team in Bahrain to develop a program. We did one workshop for people with disabilities. It was mainly for people in the age of 13 to 17. We brought things a lot on creativity, handicrafts, artisan, communication skills. And I believe it was very successful. But the idea now is we want to move to the gap where we can really do economic empowerment. Now, one of the main events that we are running, and we've been running for the past 7 years, is the World Entrepreneurs Investment Forum. And 2022 will be held during Dubai Expo under the banner of the League of Arab States, the Union of Arab Chambers, plus a number of support institutions around the world. We were discussing with Dr. Ghassan and Danielle the possibility of bringing in people with disabilities to attend the forum, because this will, get them more involved, and we will be able to add value to their lives and support them. So we are more than willing to do that. And this is an open invitation to everyone to attend the World Entrepreneurs Investment Forum. And then we can also have a small section on, addressing economic empowerment for people with disabilities. As part of the World Entrepreneurs Investment Forum, we are running something called the Arab Rally for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, and it's mainly focuses and addresses Arab students in Arab universities. And we ask them to develop innovative ideas to address the SDGs 2022. Now, the nice thing to say is that in 2019, in the Arab Rally first edition, the second place winner was from Egypt, and he was a person of disability. He had a movement problem. It would take him a very long time to walk for a very short period, for a very short distance. So what he has done, he has developed a prototype for a wheelchair that is connected to the brain. I don't know, honestly, from the scientific side of it, but he wears some kind of a very special hat connected to the wheelchair, and based on his decision, the wheelchair will move. He was the second place winner. Currently, Al Arabi Group in Egypt, they are sponsoring and they are mentoring and they are supporting him in developing the real official prototype for his wheelchair. So accordingly, the opportunities and the possibilities are there. What we believe is that we need to pass the message to people with disabilities that you can do it. Economic empowerment is doable. You can be innovative, you can be creative, you can win competitions, and you can be active in the society. Maybe some of this, is due to perception of people. We don't address these, these individuals. But I think with this conference and with the events that we plan to develop, things will be much better, and hopefully we can add value to this niche of society. What we foresee as the way ahead, as I said before, developing an economic empowerment program for people with disabilities. We're more than open to do that on a local level, on a regional level, or even on an international level, which also entails, helping these entrepreneurs, with these people with disabilities on developing successful businesses, networking, mentorship and coaching and funding. Another thing is that we are more than willing to facilitate their participation in the World Entrepreneurs Investment Forum and in the Arab Rally, and we're more than willing to do that. And we look forward to being an active partner in the Disability Expo, which is to be held in Dubai in November 2022, where we will also ask our UNIDO offices around the world to share with us and to present and display some technologies that are mainly focused towards disability and people with disabilities, so that we can help make their lives much better and much easier. This is more or less my presentation. I just would like to once again congratulate United Arab Emirates with the, I read yesterday that His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Rashid launched, I think, a law for people with disability, or a program. And this is something which is really interesting, and we look forward to learn from this program and this conference. And I thank you very much for your attention.